rare, real rare drive times. So sorry I don't do them as often as I used to. The motivation just has not been there. However, in this particular case, I must. I was compelled. As always, if you can like it, you can share it. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. And never take the light of truth and place it under a basket. I'll try and make quick work of this. You've all heard that the CDC has come out with new guidelines that if you've been fully vaccinated, you do not need to wear a mask inside. If you have been fully vaccinated, you do not need to wear masks inside. One more time. If you've been fully vaccinated, you do not need to wear masks inside. Now let me break this down for you. So we had our convention this weekend. DeKalb County, Newton County, Rockdale. 3 counties making up the 4th. And we handled business, delegates, of electing officials, etc., 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 and adopting resolutions, most of which in many cases, those that are meaningless, those with good intentions, but most of the times are meaningless. All right? So let me jump back to the CDC and so you'll understand why we are here. I have been saying over a year that we were headed towards mandatory vaccines. Those of you that follow me, you know that. You know that. I have been telling you this. Well, the CDC just came out with new guidelines. And that new guideline, again, is you do not have to wear, I know I'm being repetitious because I want you to get it. You do not have to wear masks indoors if you have been fully vaccinated. So let that sink into your mind, and I'm going to get to this one resolution. Now, they put forth first off, let me just tell you about this one resolution that they had that said to honor Speaker David Ralston here in the Georgia legislature for his standing up for voter integrity. Utter, excuse my language, yes, Sunday, and I'm a pastor, but you know what? Sometimes, man, you just got to speak plainly to people. Utter bullshit. David Ralston is one of the most corrupt politicians that we have in this state, who has deprived individuals of due process. Look it up. See it for yourself. I tell you no lie, and I say it not lightly. I say it with all seriousness. This guy is corrupt as hell, all right? But they want to honor him. Now, this is the leadership. Whoever wrote this garbage, this is what they presented to be accepted as a resolution. Among others, I'm surprised. Oh, yeah, they did have one for Kemp. Yeah, that's another story. So, this one particular resolution that they had in there, getting back to the point on the mandatory vaccines and et cetera, they're talking about we want Governor Kemp to sign an executive order. Now, that means no legislative process. Kemp just basically gets some of his lawyers to write up something and he signed it. You know, we want Kemp to be like Governor DeSantis. But this is a bit different than what DeSantis did. All right? And I'll explain it to you. There were 3 parts of this resolution. 1 and 2 was about making sure that mandatory passport vaccine identification was banned. Okay, I get that. That's good. That's what DeSantis did down in Florida. Man, I'm good with that. But here's the 4th one, and I put it on Twitter. If you want to go to my Twitter page, I'm in Facebook jail for 30 days, so I can't put it out there. It says that they don't want to allow any, check this out now, unapproved vaccinations. The key word here is unapproved. Unapproved vaccinations to keep people, and I'm going to paraphrase the rest, from being able to participate in life activities. Going to the movies, a ball game, a bar, a dance club, church, etc., etc. Any unapproved. Now let me tell you what happened at our convention. I saw that and I immediately intention in my mind, well, I'm going to oppose this, and I know once I explain it, everybody in here will understand where I'm coming from, and that will be that. Immediately, some moron stood up and put forth a motion to it, because there were two of these which were similar, 3 and 4. He put up a motion to get rid of 4 and ostensibly adopt 3. Now I'm thinking we're going to get rid of 4 and discuss number 3. No. They said at the end we're going to get rid of 4 and adopt 3, but there was no discussion on 3. So when I stood up to say, wait a minute, hold up, we need to talk about 3. You're out of order. I said, wait a minute. How are we going to adopt something? The guy was saying, let's get rid of it and we'll deal with 3. So I'm looking for the discussion on 3, but that did not come. They accepted it. They adopted it. Then I stood up and I said, hold on. I looked around, I said, I'm going to just be out of order. And I turned and looked at everybody sitting there in that convention, and I said, how long are you going to continue to allow these people to, and I'm talking about the GOP leadership, and I'm going to talk about that before I'm done, to do what they're doing to you? Look at this word, unapproved. What about people who don't want to get vaccinated? This is saying if it's unapproved, then we won't let that stop you from participating in life functions. I'm reading between the lines. But if it's approved, even though that word was not there, if it's approved by the powers that be, and we're talking Governor Kemp, then your ass will be prevented from participating in life's activities. Don't you understand what they are doing to you? You're out of order, Mr. Grayson. You're out of order. I said I was going to be out of order. Well, Mr. Grayson, if you don't sit down and be quiet, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. I said, you're free to ask me to leave. But I went on and sat down. I made the point because I wanted to continue to participate in the process. But, excuse me, these fools sat there and accepted that. So Kemp can say, when the powers that be, the CDC, they did you no favor with their recent ruling. If you have been fully vaccinated, you do not have to wear a mask indoors. Well, what's the next logical move? Okay, because some guy just performed an act of thespianism in Washington Theater saying, hey, Nancy, we don't want to keep going along with your rules. I've been fully vaccinated. Get this. I've been fully vaccinated. And he took off his mask. He was threatened, not fined, but threatened with a fine, okay, of either $500 or $1,000. And he said that more will follow suit. Well, when more follows suit, what do you think is going to happen? They aren't going to fine them. They're going to say, well, if you want to have it this way, then we're going to go with the CDC guidelines. If you have been fully vaccinated, then you don't have to wear a mask indoors. That means fully vaccinated, vaccine passport, and to participate in life's activities. And they gave Kemp a resolution saying we, the Dekalb, Newton County, Rockdale County, Dekalb County, we agree with that. Therefore, Governor Kemp, you are free to go ahead and issue an executive order saying that if it's not an approved vaccination, But if it's approved, we're good. Don't you see this? Why is this so hard to see? I saw it when I said that. Words have meaning. But all of those people up in there sat there and went along with that nonsense. And something else I noticed, they got a new code word, experience. They pick a board of their establishment people, a nominating committee, all right, establishment people, and everybody that they picked to be voted upon for the positions, they noted their experience. What if you show up and you participate in the process and you have a full understanding of the process? Just because you may not have served in a position, you know enough about what's going on to be qualified to hold the position. You can't participate because you haven't done enough volunteer work. You don't have the experience. And people that applied, went through the vetting process, were summarily dismissed because they didn't have the experience. That's bullshit. I'm telling you. Same new bosses as the same old bosses, the same bullshit. Excuse my language, I'm sorry. But I got to take it to the head. I got to go in hard because it's sickening. This shit gets old. And then I watched this lady stand up there and say, the reason we had what we had in 2020 is because y'all don't show up and vote. Bullshit! We do show up and vote. We showed up and vote during the Ron Paul days. But you didn't want those people there to show up. Why? Because they were challenging the status quo individuals that you continue to put in leadership. Debbie, what's the lady's name? Little. First name escapes me. Been moved around all over the place. Chairman in a couple of places. Now chairman of this particular, Rachel Little, came to me and said, hey, I got the endorsement of Vernon Jones. That don't impress me. Not Vernon Jones. He's a pariah. That ain't nothing to me. A rhino looking for Georgia to vote for him as for governor. But these are the people that they elect time and time again. And somebody said to me, Mr. Grayson, why aren't you running? You got a voice. Man, they don't accept me because I call them out. They don't want me because I'm going to tell them. That's bullshit that you're putting down on the people. This meeting was bullshit. I'm saying that word a lot. I know it. I know it. If you don't like it, tune out. Do with it what you will. But nobody will ever say that I did not tell you what's going on with this nonsense. So the CDC did not do you a favor at all. And when they adopted that resolution saying, Kemp, when the time comes, and you know that it will come, when the Nancy Pelosi says, well, since the CDC has given us the guideline that if you have been fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask indoors, and the House has shown us that they don't want to wear masks indoors, then we need to make sure that people meet the requirement for not wearing masks indoors, and that is being fully vaccinated. Why is it so hard to understand? I don't get it. I don't understand it. You know what? I don't ask y'all for much. But take this video, the link, post it on your Twitter, post it on your Facebook, put a link in your Instagram, tell everybody that you can, because this is coming. I don't do the mask unless I have absolutely had to and had no choice. But everywhere that I could, I went to my daughter's graduation last Thursday. I didn't fight them. I had to put the mask on because I was going to see my daughter graduate, Ashley Grayson. But other than that, I tell a person quickly, piss off. Guy asked me, sir, do you need a mask? Do you see one on my face? Well, sir, you know what? I said, man, step off. I'm not putting on a mask. And I didn't. I am not a sheep. I do not belong to the group of sheeple. I don't do sheepleness. Do you understand that? This is why they wanted Trump gone. If more people heard my voice, I would have won the Senate the first time. And certainly the last time. Because I know I speak common sense. I know that I speak liberty. I know that I speak freedom. I know that I speak justice. All of these things make up who I am as an individual. But the individuals that the dumbasses continue to vote for time and time again, whether they be in the Republican Party or the Democratic Party, all they want is power to rule over you and to dictate to you your lives. I don't even need to talk about what's going on with people that ain't showing back up for work. I didn't mean for this video to go that long, but I needed to put this message out. If I didn't say anything else, because I saw it myself firsthand at our Dekalb, Newton, and Rockdale County, where they passed this abominable resolution to make sure that they have room and freedom to be able to get behind Kemp when he decides, if he does, to do an executive order saying that if it's an unapproved vaccination, we won't do it. But if it's approved, the unspoken words, the reading between the lines, you know, my mom used to say, hint to the wise is sufficient. If it's approved, then we'll figure something else out later on down the line on what you got to do in order to prove that you have been fully vaccinated. And that brings us right back again to vaccine passports. And I listened to some idiot politician saying, I don't understand why large companies don't force people to be fully vaccinated if they want to come into their stores and shop. Who was it coming to you and saying, mark of the beast? And then all of those shade tree theologians that start talking about, well, it's going to be a mark on your hand. It's going to be a mark on your head. You can be marked by the devil simply in actions, what you do with your hands, simply in thought, what you accept as being acceptable. Understand that, because that is where we are today in this country. Nothing but chaos since Biden, Segregation Joe, took office again. Man, this is serious. And I wish y'all would get a clue and understand what's going on. I'm going to close with that. I am going to invite you to our show every Wednesday at 7 p.m. The host is Danny Ellison. You need to tune in and check out our panel. We have two attorneys, Catherine Bernard, Alex Johnson. We have a panel, other panelists that have run for office will run again. Alan Hutchinson, Josie Cruz, Danny Ellison, of course, himself ran. I'm on the show. Eugene Yu sometimes makes an appearance. And there are others, people that were on my team, Lisa Fontaine, Geraldine Allen, John Kretnick, and Jim Higginbotham. I like to say Higginbotham. I think I'm saying his name right. But at any rate, tune in to the show. It's on YouTube. And, well, I'm in Facebook jail, like I said before, for 30 days. So you won't see it on Facebook, but you can catch us live on YouTube. And that's youtube.com/Derrick Grayson, a.k.a. TMOT/live. Bag it up, repeat it. But y'all need to tune into this show and participate, because we will keep you up to speed. We will keep you up to date so that you know what's going on. And I think I'm going to close with that. TMOT out. Drive time. Till next time. Peace.